Most guys think that leaving a woman means it's over. They feel she will immediately forget them, move on, and never return. Incorrect. That is not how the mind works. When you leave with power, when you take away your company, something changes deep inside her head. All at once, the attention she expected is gone. And human instinct is basic. People only begin cherishing what they have lost. The quiet you make grows more powerful than anything you could say. She starts thinking about your company, your vibe, your effect, until it stays in her thoughts. Longing for you isn't by chance. It started by psychology. And today, on The Manipulated Mind, I will explain it clearly so you see how leaving doesn't make her forget you, it makes her need you. First, scarcity and quiet start the memory cycle. When you leave calmly, you don't just go, you make something scarce. And scarcity changes worth right away. The same man she overlooked before now seems hard to find. Not because you pleaded, not because you talked, but because you closed the door. Human nature is easy to guess. We only begin seeing what we're losing when it's gone. Your silence becomes a glass. It makes her face the empty spot you left behind. Your sound, your calm, your vibe, that empty space leaves a fingerprint on her mind. It doesn't yell, it repeats. Here's the real story. First, she looks for the usual fix, your attention. No reply, her mind doesn't see it as a no. It sees it as an unfinished story. Not done, not fixed. That unfinished story keeps turning, remembering old times, little things she didn't notice when you were there, how you watched her without fear, the peace in your voice, how you never fought to show your value. She begins changing the past, looking for hints. Was he ever that calm? Was I wrong about him? Why do I feel this need now? That's not luck, that's pressure working. Most men break this. They leave, then worry, then text, then post sad photos for looks, then send the big message that wrecks everything. The strength isn't in leaving. The strength is in being gone with honor. No answers, no feelings showing, no hidden tales for her. Real quiet, plus a life that clearly gets better, changes you from a choice to a measure. She doesn't want men who circle her. She wants the man who circles his goals. Your role isn't to hurt, it's to guard your space. Keep your habits, work out, grow, smile with friends who value your time. Reply when it makes sense, not when you're upset. If she talks to you, mirror her vibe, but don't try too hard. Brief, kind, calm. When you show you are complete alone, her interest jumps. Interest becomes measuring. Measuring becomes needing. Needing becomes reaching out. Get this. Missing you isn't about you being gone. It's about how good the man was that she lost. When you leave without a mess, no anger, no drama, you show her something her ego can't forget. You are a gift, not a thing. And when that fact hits, the brain does what it does with special stuff. It begins needing it again. Stick around until the end to learn the psychological tricks that make this so powerful. Don't forget to subscribe to The Manipulated Mind for more insights. Second, emotional contrast strikes harder than you expect. When you leave, you don't just give her quiet, you give her a difference. And a difference is what makes the human brain pay attention. Consider this. While you were there, she became accustomed to your company, the ease of knowing you'd answer, the safety of your focus, the vibe you added to her life. Even if she didn't actively value it, her body felt it. That constant stream became the normal sound of her days. But the second you leave, that music stops. And what takes its place? Nothing. That's the strength of emotional contrast. She moves from sureness to doubt, from complete to empty. Out of nowhere, small things make her think of you. The funny message she would have sent to you now just stays in her head. The news she wanted to tell you is never spoken. The way her day was smoother with you, and now it feels rough. She might not say it to anyone, but she feels the loss because the human brain needs balance. And when you take your vibe out of her life, she feels the difference right away. Most men mess up here. They try to make it easier. They leave, but not all the way. They still like her photos, they still watch her chats, they still give her little bits of attention, just enough so she never feels the change. And you know what? That ruins the magic. She doesn't miss you because she never lives without you. The only way difference works is when you completely remove your company. Totally. That's when her mind starts replaying what it's lost. Here's the psychology. People recall high points and times you're gone more than everyday sameness. When you're always there, you become unseen. But when you take yourself away, you become impossible to forget, because now she measures every boring chat, every dull meeting with others, against the way she felt with you. The joy, the edge, the connection. That difference makes you more noticeable in her memory than when you were right there. So get this. Walking away isn't about hurting her. It's about making a difference so strong it changes her emotional memory. She won't just miss you because you're gone. She'll miss you because everyone else feels different. And that need, that void, that measuring, those are the beginnings of obsession. Third, curiosity becomes her quiet enemy. When you walk away, you don't just take away your presence, you take away her chance for sureness. And the female mind can't stand doubt when it comes to attraction. Curiosity is a powerful drug, and the less she knows about your life, the more potent it gets. Suddenly, the man she had figured out is a mystery, and questions without answers keep her mind awake at night. She thinks about where you are, who you're with, why you haven't called, and why you seem totally okay without her. That's when the attraction gets stronger. Not because you're following, but because she's searching for answers. Here's the psychology. The brain hates open loops. When something feels incomplete, the mind keeps going back to it, wanting an end. And your absence creates the largest loop of all. Before, she had easy access to you. She knew your habits, she knew you'd text back. She knew she could get your vibe whenever she wanted. But now, silence. That not knowing makes her curiosity go crazy. She'll start looking at your online profiles. She'll mention your name in talk. She'll even ask shared friends questions. Why? Because what she doesn't know feels more intense than what she knows. To truly understand how to use these psychological triggers to your advantage, you need to watch until the very end. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to The Manipulated Mind for more secrets you won't find anywhere else.
Most men waste this advantage. They leave but still tell everyone everything, sharing every step, every party, every post, hoping for her to see. That doesn't build curiosity. It gives her the facts. She doesn't ask because she has the answers. And when she has the answers, she doesn't long for you. The strength of walking away isn't in displaying your new life. It's in having it without noise. Let her mind create the story. And believe me, her mind will always create a stronger image than anything you could show online. The best part of curiosity is that it works without a sound. She won't say it. She might even seem distant if she meets you. But in private, her thoughts are racing. What is he doing? Why is he staying silent? Has he found someone else? Does he still care? That flood of questions makes an emotional mess. And here's the important part. Chaos is where obsession starts, because the more she fails to understand the problem, the more she cares about solving it. So keep this in mind. Curiosity is not a bad thing. It's control. Don't destroy it by showing too much. Keep it by staying calm, hard to read, and thinking about yourself. When she can't guess you, she can't get over you. And when she can't get over you, she starts wanting you more than she says. Fourth, the ego notices the loss before the heart does. When you walk away, the first thing that realizes isn't her heart, it's her ego. Look, attraction and ego are connected in ways most men miss. While you were there, your attention was her quiet proof. Every message you sent, every time you called, Every time you appeared, it showed she still had your focus. That proof made her ego feel good, even if she didn't say it. But the instant you step back, that source disappears. And that's when her ego gets hurt. Now, she's not sure if she still controls your interest. And nothing shakes a woman's mind more than the thought that she lost command of the attention she assumed was hers. Here's the real story. Women are accustomed to men running after them. They're accustomed to men showing their worth, asking hard, begging and fighting for their time. So when you don't join that game, when you move back and say no to feeding her ego, it makes an empty space she can't avoid. That's why she begins testing you. Maybe she sends a simple "hey." Maybe she puts up a photo just to see if you'll answer. Maybe she even talks about you in a roundabout way to common friends. None of that is by accident. It's her ego looking for signs that she still counts in your life. And when that proof doesn't arrive, that's when the longing begins to hurt. Most men lose here because they can't stop themselves from feeding the ego when she tests them. She sends one small sign and they run after it, handing her exactly what she wanted, evidence that she still has control that ruins everything. The real power is in not responding, in allowing her to face the unease of not knowing, because unease is what makes people change. And here, it makes her see that your company wasn't just for her ego, it was feeling that kept her going. And here's where it goes further. Once her ego feels the loss, her feelings come next. She starts questioning herself. Why do I worry so much? Why does it upset me that he's not chasing? And that self-talk changes the game. She moves from being the one judged to being the one doing the judging. That's the change you aim for. So remember this, walking away isn't only about attraction. It's about making her ego go hungry until her feelings activate. When you are no longer her certain proof, she doesn't just see you're gone, she senses it. And once her ego breaks, her heart comes next. That's when wanting you stops being shallow and starts hurting for real. Fifth, comparison becomes your best friend. When you walk away, you do more than just go away. You make her judge, and comparison is harsh because it always shows the truth. While you were there, she didn't have to check you against other people. She had your company, your focus, your steadiness. But once you're not there, the difference starts. Every man she speaks to, every talk she has, every meeting she goes on, even if she doesn't say it, gets compared to you. And here's what she can't avoid. If you acted with power, peace, and self-belief, most men will not be as good. That understanding doesn't just make her aware of you, it makes her miss you. If this is making sense, you need to see what comes next. Share this video and subscribe to The Manipulated Mind to unlock the full strategy.
Think about this. You looked her in the eye without looking away. You didn't bombard her with needy texts. You weren't scared to walk away when the vibe changed. That mix makes you different from the regular guy who tries too hard for little attention. So when she meets the next man, the one who chatters too much, pushes too hard, or breaks under stress, her mind doesn't like him more, it silently remembers you, and every new letdown becomes more reason to miss you more. Not because you're flawless, but because you are not the same. Most men don't grasp this idea. They walk away, but then they quietly wish she won't see anyone else. That's fear talking. The reality is, you need her to meet others. You need her to go out and see what's actually available. Why? Because every time another man isn't good enough, you become better in her memory. You don't even have to do anything. She makes the comparison herself. That's how the mind works. You can't stop it. It's natural. Here's the mistake. If you end your silence too early, if you come back before the comparisons have had time to happen, you lose your advantage. The key is waiting. The longer you stay calm, the more opportunities life gives her to meet men who lack your vibe. And with each meeting, the difference between you and them grows. That difference is what makes her want you. So don't forget, walking away isn't about winning. It's about letting her own past fight her. Every trap, every memory, every still moment of thought is sign that you're still inside her mind. And once memories become her problem, she can't run. She starts missing you everywhere. 7. the change from control to need. When you walk away, the last part of the mind activates, the change from control to need. See, when you were there, she had the upper hand. She could guess your calls, your texts, your vibe. She could relax in the knowledge that you were always there. That control made her feel sure. But the minute you step away, that control is gone, and the human mind despises losing what it once owned. That loss doesn't just hurt, it creates need because now she isn't choosing your attention, she's running after it. Here's what occurs inside. At first, she might pretend it's fine. She might even act, posting more, smiling more, acting like you're not important. But the fact is, the more she tries to show she doesn't care, the more her hidden mind shows the truth. That's when the signs appear. She checks her phone often. She questions why you haven't called. She thinks about old times in her head, not because she chooses to, but because she can't help it. That change from having control of your attention to needing it is the start of obsession. Most men never reach this stage because they quit too fast. They return the second she shows a little interest. They feed her ego, give her back control, and the need disappears. But the man who stays still, the man who keeps his silence and lets her feel the pain of not knowing, becomes the man she can't remove from her thoughts because now she's the one looking, hoping, and following. And psychology is clear. What we run after, we want more. Here's the best part of this change. Needing you changes how she sees you. Now you're not the man who wanted her, you're the man she must have back. That switch changes everything. She stops asking, "Does he like me?" and starts asking, "How can I get him to notice me again?" That question drives her to act, testing, contacting, finding paths back to you. And the longer she needs without getting what she wants, the more stuck she becomes. So remember this, walking away isn't about being mad, hurting her, or playing. It's about starting the natural mind change where she loses control and begins needing what she once had for free. That need isn't simple, it's powerful. And once it starts, she doesn't just miss you. She feels drawn back to you over and over, no matter how she fights it. Now you know the truth. A woman doesn't start missing you when you leave. She starts missing you when quiet, difference, interest, ego, comparison, and memory all work together until need wins. This isn't about lies. It's about knowing the mind. The human mind always wants what it can't control. The female mind is the same. When you stay peaceful, steady, and calm, you change the story. Instead of you following her, she starts following the feeling only you gave. Most men fall under pressure. They come back too fast. They talk too much. They feed her ego, and they lose the power of walking away. But the man who stands firm, who lets her feel the loss without anger or pleading, becomes a memory she can't erase. That's when memories become traps, comparisons become failures, and quiet becomes obsession. So never forget, walking away isn't the finish. It's the start of her needing you. And once her heart moves from control to need, you're not just the man she knew, you're the man her thoughts will not release. If you want to master these psychological principles, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to The Manipulated Mind right now. Your journey to understanding the mind starts here.